In the dimly lit corridors of Birmingham Federal Penitentiary, a female warden stood alone, her heart racing as a whispered threat echoed in the silence. "Speak, and you'll regret it," he said. Warden Laura Tate, a seasoned officer with a decade of service, alleges she was coerced by a single inmate, Sean Combs, known to the world as Diddy, a figure whose fame casts a long shadow. No incident was logged, no footage preserved, no colleague stepped forward to support her claim. Yet a single handwritten grievance found its way to the chief warden's desk, its opening words heavy with dread. "He knew I couldn't tell anyone, for in that moment it was only him and me." The accusation points to a night in the solitary confinement wing where Diddy was held under maximum security. A camera in corridor B7, tasked with monitoring the block, went dark for precisely 17 minutes. The central system recorded no trace of the outage, no alerts, no maintenance calls, no explanation. Tate claims she was trapped in the isolation unit, coerced under duress, her radio silent, and the exit sealed. Weeks later, a medical exam confirmed her pregnancy, its timeline aligning with that fateful night. The allegation is not merely about what transpired in those unrecorded minutes. It is about how a prisoner confined and scrutinized could turn a fortress of justice into a stage for misconduct. No one disputes the camera's failure, yet no one can explain it. The grievance penned in Tate's steady hand details a chilling encounter, a deliberate blackout, a jammed signal, and a power dynamic that left her voiceless. Birmingham's protocols demand constant surveillance, yet that night the system failed or was made to fail. The question looms larger than the accusation itself. How could an inmate wield such influence within a facility designed to strip him of power? If Tate's account holds true, the breach was not a flaw, but a feature, enabled by forces unseen. And if it was enabled, who ensured that 17 minutes vanished into silence? Within the sterile confines of Birmingham Federal Penitentiary's data archive, a team of auditors sifts through the digital remnants of a night that defies explanation. Warden Laura Tate, a steadfast officer known for her diligence, alleges she was coerced by inmate Sean Combs, known as Diddy, during a solitary confinement check. The night in question saw corridor B7's camera, designated K12, lose its signal at exactly 10:09 p.m. For 17 minutes, the system went blind. No alerts triggered, no technicians summoned, no record of the lapse. The access log shows a single entry, Tate's badge scanned at 10:06 p.m. with no further activity in the block. In that window, only Tate and Diddy occupied the isolated corridor. When the camera flickered back to life at 10:26 p.m., its first frame captured a stuttering emergency light, a glitch unlisted in the facility's maintenance schedule. A perfunctory report filed the following morning by an unnamed technician attributed the outage to a temporary voltage failure, cause undetermined. Yet no repair crew was dispatched and no follow-up investigation launched. 6 weeks later, Tate visited the penitentiary's medical bay reporting exhaustion and nausea. A test confirmed her pregnancy. Its conception dated precisely to the night of the camera blackout. Her handwritten grievance, submitted months later, paints a harrowing picture. A disabled camera, a silenced radio, and a locked gate that left her at Diddy's mercy. Facility records reveal a disturbing pattern. Between December and February, 2 other camera outages occurred in solitary Block B, both during shifts involving female wardens. Both undocumented. One officer resigned abruptly, citing personal reasons. Another took extended leave, her file devoid of explanation. Tate's accusation, now under scrutiny, raises questions beyond her encounter. Why was no secondary surveillance active as protocol demands? Who had the clearance to erase digital logs, and why was Tate's shift left unmonitored? The auditor's findings only deepen the mystery. A system designed for accountability failed or was engineered to fail. If Diddy exerted such control, how did he access the means to silence an officer? And if this was not the first lapse, what allowed it to persist undetected? In the quiet of Birmingham Federal Penitentiary's staff lounge, a chilling discovery surfaced. A folded note slipped beneath the door bore a single typed line: "Speak and your world collapses." The paper, drawn from the facility's own supply, carried no fingerprints, no signature. The lounge's camera-coded R4 had failed for 4 hours overnight, its feed blank from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. No record captured the note's delivery. The technical team, alerted at 7:45 a.m., found the outage unlogged until their arrival. No clue to the sender's identity emerged. The note appeared mere hours after Warden Laura Tate's grievance, a clear signal of retaliation. Yet no security protocols were activated. No additional patrols dispatched. No protective measures offered to Tate. An internal memo issued the following day by the security director dismissed the threat as unsubstantiated. The memo was filed without review, its conclusions unchallenged. Access logs for the lounge revealed 3 card swipes that night. 2 from custodial staff, 1 from an unidentified code marked temporary systems check logged at 2:15 a.m. By noon, that code had been erased from the system, its user untraceable. Investigators noted possible internal interference, but closed the matter without action. The timing of the note raises alarms. Was it meant to silence Tate alone or to warn others? Facility records show 3 female wardens requested transfers from Solitary Block B in the prior 4 months, each citing vague concerns. One reported an unsettling exchange with Diddy during a routine inspection resolved without documentation. The pattern suggests a broader issue, yet no inquiries followed. If Tate's accusation prompted this threat, who had the means to deliver it undetected? Why did a system built to safeguard its officers allow such intimidation to pass unaddressed? And if this was not the first warning, what ensured its predecessors went unnoticed? In a secluded conference room at Birmingham Federal Penitentiary, Sean Combs, known as Diddy, was granted a private audience with his attorney. The meeting, lasting 55 minutes, unfolded without a supervising officer, a direct violation of protocol for inmates under investigation. The room's camera, designated T9, recorded without interruption, yet its footage was sealed under a rare designation, Restricted Code Z3, accessible only with clearance beyond the facility's authority. When auditors sought the video that evening, it was listed as inaccessible. Code Z3, reserved for matters of federal security, requires external authorization power no one in Birmingham possesses. A maintenance technician tasked with inspecting the room's wiring discovered a small memory card wedged beneath the conference table. It matched no equipment in the penitentiary's inventory. Handed to the internal compliance unit, the card vanished from all records. No analysis, no documentation. Diddy was escorted back to his cell via a restricted route, bypassing standard searches under a protocol labeled Urgent Transfer Code V, typically reserved for health crises. No medical evaluation supported this exemption. That same night, 2 wardens from Solitary Block B requested immediate shift changes, citing intolerable workplace pressure. The secrecy surrounding the meeting raises profound questions. What was discussed that demanded such protection? More critically, who ensured its concealment? The restricted footage, the missing memory card, and the unorthodox escort suggest a coordinated effort to shield the encounter. On the same day, Laura Tate's duties were curtailed, her access to Block B revoked without explanation. Her grievance, still unaddressed, seemed to trigger a swift response, not to protect her, but to isolate her. If Diddy's influence extended beyond his cell, who facilitated its reach? Why was a code reserved for national emergencies applied to a routine legal consultation? And if no one claims responsibility, what truth lies buried in that unrecorded hour? Female warden alleges pregnancy by Diddy. Courtroom falls silent. Deep in the archives of Birmingham Federal Penitentiary, a startling find emerged from the shadows. An unmarked folder labeled Inmate Management Protocol, Prisoner SC-77, was discovered in Section 5D, nestled among unprocessed records. The 12-page document, printed on official letterhead, outlined strategies for handling high-profile inmates with phrases like minimize staff interaction, curtail incident documentation, and limit external oversight, recurring throughout. No signatures adorned its pages. No dates marked its origin, yet its format mirrored the facility's internal standards. A scrawled note on page 4 in red ink posed a single question: who sanctioned this plan? Its author remains unknown. A 48-hour lockdown of the archive was ordered to trace the document's source, but the Security Oversight Division lifted it after mere hours, citing no evidence of unauthorized activity. By dusk, the folder had vanished from Section 5D with no digital copy preserved. A chilling line on the final page referenced Laura Tate. The Tate issue must be resolved swiftly to maintain operational stability. The audit team was dismissed without cause, and the document was declared unverifiable. If genuine, it suggests a deliberate blueprint for concealment. If fabricated, it begs the question, who could craft such a precise forgery within the system's own walls? The discovery sent ripples through Solitary Block B. 3 wardens requested immediate leave that week, their reasons undisclosed. One, a veteran officer, had previously reported an overbearing presence from Diddy during a cell check, a complaint archived without investigation. The folder's brief existence, even if unverified, points to a deeper truth. If the system permitted such a directive to surface, what does it reveal about its priorities? If Tate's grievance threatened to unravel that system, who acted to bury it? And if this was not the first attempt to silence dissent, what safeguards remain for those still walking Birmingham's halls? In the hushed, technical vault of Birmingham Federal Penitentiary, a faint glimmer of truth surfaced from the abyss. Engineers uncovered 17 minutes of footage from a concealed backup drive linked to camera K12, capturing the night of Laura Tate's alleged coercion. The grainy, silent video revealed Tate entering corridor B7, pausing at Diddy's cell, and vanishing from view for 40 seconds. At minute 5, the lights dimmed and a side door, absent from all facility blueprints, cracked open, casting a crimson glow. A figure in plain clothing stepped out, gestured toward the camera, and the feed abruptly died. The footage, sourced from a diagnostic shadow feed never meant to record, had been preserved by an unlogged system test months earlier. The drive, tucked in a forgotten storage locker, was found by a contract technician with no orders to search there. In a sealed briefing, the footage was screened to a silent room. By dawn, the drive was locked away, transferred to a federal office under the label Evidence Classification Pending. No report confirmed Diddy's involvement, the door's existence, or Tate's actions after the gap. A single query penned in the briefing's margins lingered. If the camera was disabled, who preserved this feed, and why was it hidden? No answer followed. Birmingham's incident log soon read, "No violations pending." Tate's grievance was shelved as unsubstantiated. The footage deemed inconclusive was sealed. The crimson-lit door unlisted on any map was dismissed as a glitch. Diddy remained in solitary, his privileges untouched, his silence unbroken. Tate, meanwhile, vanished from the system. Her personnel file erased, her name struck from rosters, her whereabouts unknown. Staff in Block B recall that night, the faltering light, the static-filled radio, the gate that refused to yield. They avoid the corridor request transfers or fall silent, their testimonies unrecorded, their fears unheeded. No charges were filed, no hearings convened, no outsider learned of the accusation. If Tate spoke truth, the system shielded a prisoner over its own. If she erred, who orchestrated her erasure with such precision? The question cuts deeper than the incident itself. What force allows a confined man to bend a fortress to his will? Why was evidence buried the moment it surfaced? And how does a woman, a warden, a witness, a mother-to-be dissolve from existence as if she never was? Those left behind, pacing Birmingham's halls, know the weight of that silence. They dare not speak for the system that failed Laura Tate. Still watches, still waits, still protects something or someone greater than them all.